Summer has finally arrived in Vienna, Austria, and my friends and I decided to throw a picnic in one of the many parks. For me, this was a wonderful opportunity to bake as many cupcakes as I possibly can, decorate them nicely, and just present them to my friends. Why? Well, because I like baking for other people. I was a bit anxious and nervous because I didn't really know how this would turn out, but eventually everything turned out just fine. So I would like to dedicate this video to my wonderful friends, and I hope we'll have more opportunities to meet. If you want to see how the entire process went, keep on watching! Alright, baking cupcakes for 30 people is not a simple job, and I foolishly accepted this challenge. I did not even accept it, nobody proposed it to me. I just decided to have this challenge where I'm going to make cupcakes for some friends that I'm meeting tomorrow, and there is going to be a lot of them. So I think that I need at least 3 batches of cupcakes. I haven't even started yet, and I have less than 24 hours to go. So first things first, I want to make vanilla cupcakes that I'm going to use as a base for strawberry cupcakes and also for typical American buttercream. And I have this recipe that is supposed to result in 20 cupcakes, so let's get going. And what I'll need first is 430 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm just gonna drop it into my bowl. To this, I'm going to add around 300 grams of superfine caster sugar. You can use a regular one, but I like this one because these sugar crystals are tinier. There we go. Next, 3 teaspoons of baking powder that I prepared here, and half a teaspoon of salt, which I've also prepared, to balance all this sugar. Okay, so I'm going to whisk this just a little bit. You know what? I have a kitchen machine. Why would I mix anything with my hands? I just want to bring the lid, close it, and turn it on. Good. This was nice and easy. And to this, now I'm going to add some room temperature butter, and let me show you what it looks like. So I think that I've had it out for almost 2 hours, and if I press it, my finger is going in. Okay, so I'll just add all of these pieces of melted butter inside. Okay. Turning this on just to get the butter incorporated with all the dry ingredients. Okay, this resulted in a lot of dry ingredients flying around. Alright, this looks good now, and to this now I am going to add eggs. So I have to say that I added 140 grams of butter, and now I'm just going to add 2 eggs. Whole eggs. 410 milliliters of milk. 140 ml of vegetable oil, and 2 tablespoons of sour cream. And at this stage I'm also going to add vanilla. I never know how much precisely, so as much as you like, I guess. I'm running out of vanilla. I did not know that. I don't want to overmix this, but I still want to scrape the bowl as I go because there is probably a lot of butter on the sides. Yep. Okay, I think this is done. Let's just check it out. Make sure there is no butter sticking on the sides or some flour on the bottom. Okay, this looks very nice. I'm just going to divide it into halves. Did you think that I'm just going to dye this one blue and this one pink? No, I've decided to make my life even more complicated. So, from this batch I want to make 10 vanilla cupcakes with strawberry frosting, and I just want to dye all 10 of them. I hope that this will yield in 10 pink. So, I am just going to go with 3, 4, 5 drops and see what shade of pink this will make. Alright, time to place this in a muffin tray. And look at these beautiful cups. I actually wanted them to match the batter. Okay, now I'm going to pour the batter into the cups, like almost all the way up. I have to say that I'm shocked positively that this yielded in exactly 10 cupcakes as I wanted, like 10 muffins, and I just hope that it will not really overflow in the oven, so let's see. But so far so good, wish me luck. I turned on the oven to 140 degrees Celsius, and once it is heated up, I'm going to be baking it for around 40 minutes. I've learned that if you bake things on lower heat for a longer time, they turn out better. Like, they don't rise and overflow, they are not mushy, so this is the procedure that I've been following for a while now. Alright, let's make the second batch. Remember I told you I'm going to further complicate my life? Well, I meant it. So I'm just going to divide the second batch into 2 halves and basically color one pink and one blue. Alright, let's dye one pink. I'm going to take this baby whisk . And what I've prepared here are 2 piping bags with just like small round attachments, and I'm using the smallest holes as I can find, so they don't have to be circles, just find the smallest, like an attachment with the smallest hole. Now I'm going to pour pink batter into 1 cup, into 1 bag, and the blue batter into the second one. Alright, so I have 5 blue cups and 5 pink ones, and what I will do is to pipe a little bit of blue batter into each cup and then a little bit of pink, and then blue and then pink until it's over. And this is going to result in muffins resembling marbles, sort of saying. It's going to be very nice. If you can't tell, but I'm sure you can, my kitchen is such a mess. I have batter all over my kitchen counter, all over my muffin tray, all over my hands, probably somewhere on my face, but this looks so cool. I am really impressed. So I'm going to wait until the first batch is done and then just bake these babies 140 degrees 40 minutes. Right? Let me wash my hands now. But they look so nice, look at that! In order to speed things up, I'm going to use a hand mixer for the second batch, and these are going to be chocolate muffins that I'm going to frost with Italian buttercream that I'm going to divide in 2 halves. One will be Italian buttercream with ganache, and the other will be Italian buttercream with salted caramel. But let's make the muffins first. I have 175 grams of flour here mixed with 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt. And to this I'm going to add 30 grams of sifted cocoa powder and 185 grams of sugar, just simple granulated sugar. And I'm going to give this just a stir. Alright, and just move it here. I have a new bowl in which I'm going to add 2 eggs. Take out the shell. And I'm just going to beat the eggs a little bit. To this, I'm going to add 125 ml of milk, 110 ml of vegetable oil, and 125 milliliters of hot water, and of course vanilla, a little bit. Don't go crazy. Now I'm going to pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. And I'll try to do this by hand. And now I'll take a mixer and just mix it a little bit. It's very runny, so I'm just going to pour it into a jug, because that's going to make my life easier when it's time to pour the batter into the cupcakes, to pour the batter into the muffin cups. So while my second batch of muffins is being baked at the moment, I'm going to pour the chocolate batter into the muffin tray, and I just want to show you these beautiful cups with flamingos. I adore them. After a little bit of a struggle, the batter is now in the cups, and it only resulted in 10. As far as I remember, last time I made this recipe I had 12. I have no idea. So when the second batch is done, I'm going to pop this into the oven 140 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to bake it for 40 minutes. Right. All the muffins are now ready, and I'm getting ready to make you American buttercream. I wanted to say US buttercream, but let me just show you the muffins. So here is the pink one, and this one is going to get a frosting, strawberry mascarpone frosting. And then this beauty, look at it, it's so lovely. And I have them in blue cups and I have them in pink cups. And look at the chocolate one with these little flamingos. I adore them. And yeah, as you can see, they're just the perfect size and the perfect shape. And this is, I believe, because I baked them for 45 minutes on 140 degrees Celsius. Last time that I made these, if you've seen my first video, we had to chop the humps off because they really rose a bit, and I think that this is because I baked them on 180 degrees for 20 minutes. So this is a better solution. Alright, let's get into the buttercream, shall we? I'm going to make a smaller batch of American buttercream because last time that I made it, I really had so much. I think that I could have frosted 14 muffins with it, and I only want to frost 10. So here I have 400 grams of softened butter. It's really soft, almost melting, but this is how we want it. Just put it in. I love this pedal attachment. If you buy this machine, Bosch Pie, make sure it has this. If it doesn't, order it separately. It's 20 euros, but it's amazing. It's really what the packaging that I bought was lacking. So now I really like this machine. Okay, it's inside, and I'm going to cream it on low speed with a pedal attachment, just until it gets creamy. Okay, so I was mixing this for 5 minutes on high speed, and it's very creamy now. So I'm going to cover it again, and I'm going to add 1/2 of the powdered sugar that I prepared, and I prepared 400 grams. Turn it on low. there is a lot of powdered sugar flying around. A lot. Okay, I'm just going to add the rest of it. Vanilla, because this is vanilla buttercream. How much? I don't know. 2 tablespoons, I think. Just mix it a little bit more. It's delicious now. Because it's like 200 degrees Celsius in my kitchen since I've been baking for hours now, and I think the oven was on for 3 whole hours. This is like a little bit runny, and I don't want to start frosting now because I'm going to be crying. So before I start frosting, I'm going to let this sit in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, and I think that by that time my kitchen is going to cool down a bit to 100 degrees because right now it's 200. So before putting this in my refrigerator, I divided it in 2, and I'm just going to color it now, and then I'm going to chill it. So I want pink and blue to match these beautiful muffins. Okay, so my kitchen is a better place now. It's only about 50 degrees Celsius, so it's fine. And my American buttercream has chilled very nicely in the fridge. So now I'm just going to use 2 bags on which I chopped off the tip because we are going to be piping them onto a foil since we actually want a frosting which has 2 colors. You probably did not understand the word I was saying because I cannot understand myself sometimes, but I'm going to show you. So just prepare 2 reusable bags or silicone bags, whichever you like, and then fill one with pink or whatever color you want. Okay, let's do it like master chefs. So what I have here is just plastic foil, and because I want to use this mint and this pink together in one piping bag, I will just pipe it here in lines, 1 line pink, 1 line blue, and then wrap it and put it in this big silicone bag. Okay, now that this is done, I think that I should have left more space here, so I'm just going to remove it. Okay. And now basically we should wrap this and like sushi almost. Alright, so I've had a little bit of a fiasco with the frosting and I have no idea what it's going to look like, but I guess I won't know until I start frosting. This is a lot of buttercream that has been in the fridge for like 45 minutes or so. Let's see whether I'll be able to frost it. And you cannot see this, but I have this open star tip here and my hands full of buttercream. Okay, we have a nice rose going on here. Let's make another one. My trusty old Zuckerstreusel. It's one of my favorite. These are one of my favorite sprinkles, and I'm just going to sprinkle it with unicorns and stars. It's so beautiful. These little pearls. and I'll take this one. Alright, it's very late and I still haven't finished, so let's get going. We are about to make, actually I'm about to make, and you'll be watching, Italian meringue. And in this bowl attached to my stand mixer, I have 4 egg whites. Make sure that there are no yolks inside because they will deflate your meringue. To this I'm adding a quarter of a teaspoon of cream of tartar and a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to let this run low until it sort of starts frothing. So I need something to cook those egg whites, and here I have some water mixed with some sugar, and I'm going to cook it until the sugar dissolves. This should be at around 115 degrees Celsius, so I'll be using this handy little thermometer. Once this is done, I'm going to slowly and carefully pour it into the egg whites. As you can see, this is now in the frothy stage, and now I'm going to add 75 grams of granulated sugar, but I'm going to do it very, very slowly. Okay, so let's see whether this has reached soft peak stage. Nope, still very frothy. Let's continue mixing. I'm going to turn it up to 7. Aha! There are a lot of egg whites on the whisk, meaning that look at this. This is perfect now. Okay, the whisk back on. And now my sugar water mixture has reached 115 degrees Celsius, and while mixing I'm going to be adding this slowly. Ugh. 15 minutes of mixing later, and my pathetic attempts to bring this to room temperature by applying 5 ice cubes onto the bowl. Anyhow, at least it looks really nice. Let me show you. Look at this! So nice! Alright, I'm going to switch to my pedal attachment. And 450 grams of butter will go into this in batches. So I'm going to be mixing and putting in butter. It's going to get soupy. You're going to think that this beautiful meringue has been destroyed, but don't panic, it's all fine. Once we add all the butter in, it's going to be just nice, but don't just add it all in. It has to go in stages. All right. It's 1 a.m. I've been in the kitchen since 5 and I'm drinking at this point, so cheers. Alright, let's see what's going on here. I don't like the look of this. It's too soupy. There is no way that I'll be able to pipe this. It's not crazily sweet as American buttercream. It's so light. So you know what? I'm just going to go to bed now. I'm going to pop this into my refrigerator, and I bet that basically once, you know, this leaves in the fridge, it's going to be really great tomorrow, and I'll be adding chocolate or salted caramel sauce into it, and I think it's going to frost really well. So good night now, and see you tomorrow. Good morning. A few more things to be done until 3 p.m. today, so let's get right into it. I'm going to make mascarpone based frosting for my strawberry cupcakes, and here I have 260 grams of chilled mascarpone cheese. To that I'm adding 70 grams of sifted powdered sugar, and I'm just going to fold it. So guess what I forgot to buy? Strawberries. I was going to make strawberry cupcakes, but I did not buy strawberries. However, we can always improvise with this strawberry sauce. I have no idea what will happen because this is not as thick as strawberry jam that I needed, but you know what? Sometimes you just have to take a little risk and hope for the best. Okay, let me just start with 1 spoon and then see where this takes me. Okay, so there are 3 spoons of this strawberry sauce in here. I don't want to add more because I think it's going to make this very runny. So I'm going to chill this while I'm preparing the whipping cream. In my stand mixer equipped with a whisk attachment, I'm adding 250 milliliters of cream, and I'm going to whisk it until it looks like whipped cream. Okay, so my whipped cream is looking very nice, and now we're just going to mix it with mascarpone. As always, we won't be adding all the whipped cream into this because we don't want to make it too runny, so let's just take 2 spatulas first and see where this takes us. Okay, you know what? I think that because I added that strawberry sauce, it made this mixture a little bit softer. So I have a lot of whipped cream left, but I won't be adding any more since I'm afraid that it's going to be too runny and impossible to pipe. And to this, I'm just going to add a drop of food coloring. I'm just adding 1 drop of pink. This is great now. So before piping it, I'm just gonna leave it in the fridge so that it gets a bit stiffer and easier to pipe. So my mascarpone mixture has been chilled. My muffins are ready. Look how pretty they are. And I've prepared a standard bag with just the French tip. And I'm just going to fill it. Last batch of frosting. So remember that Italian meringue I made last night? I divided into 2 halves and I left 1 half in my freezer where it can be stored for up to 2 months, and next time that I make muffins I have instant frosting. So this is the other half and it's looking really sad and soggy, but don't despair. All you have to do is just give it a whisk. And here I have just some dark melted chocolate, and I'm going to turn this beautiful Italian meringue into chocolate Italian meringue. Okay, in the fridge you go. Alright, so this is the last phase of my 30 cupcakes in less than 24 hours project. I'm meeting my friends in 2 hours, and if they tell me that they are on a diet, I'm just going to shoot them all. Kidding, I won't, but I'll probably be crying and they'll be sorry. So here they are in all their glory. I really believe these are the most wonderful cupcakes that I've ever made, and it's because I always make them with love. Even if you're not an expert baker, if you want to do something nice for the people that you love, well, there is always the way. Just look at me. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of these videos, please click the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!